Welcome to Inspiring IT Leaders, where we feature top technology leaders and those amazing expressions they use to communicate, to teach, and to inspire. I'm Dan Roberts, your host of the series of 5-minute, high-impact micro videos. I am beyond excited to shine the light on the top digital and business leaders who are standout communicators. In this episode, we shine the light on Wendy Pfeiffer, who is also featured on my Tech Whispers podcast. Wendy is incredibly well regarded amongst her peers, which is why I refer to her as the CIO's CIO. She is a prolific writer who is known for publishing jaw-dropping blogs on LinkedIn, addressing topics that most are afraid to talk about. They're thinking about them, but we're not going to talk about them. So thank you, Wendy, for your courage, your transparency, your brilliance. And let's listen in and hear from the always awesome Wendy Pfeiffer.
John Madden talks about, or used to talk about the fact that all of us have an unfair advantage. Now he was talking about sports, right? That every team has an unfair advantage, and he was kind of going off on people who would complain about some other team's unfair advantage and say, like, that's unfair. They should. It wasn't a fair fight. And he said, look, every unfair advantage is actually bought and paid for. And so if your unfair advantage is bought and paid for, what you need to do is you need to use that unfair advantage. The example I think of is, a few seasons ago when the Warriors basketball team were doing, fantastic. And they had, all these weapons, Steph Curry and Draymond Green and Klay Thompson and so on. And then they recruited and hired, KD, Kevin Durant, right? And everyone was going like, oh my God, what are they even going to do? Like, who's going to be on the court and so on? And of course, they made it to the playoffs, and they were playing against another team. They're playing against Chicago, and one of the key players on that team was injured. And, in that moment, there was this thought like, well, maybe they should keep one of their weapons on the bench because, the corresponding weapon on the other side is injured. But of course not. Like, that advantage was bought and paid for and practiced, and it was put in place for just such a time. And so in the moment when you need that unfair advantage, bring that unfair advantage into the game, onto the court, and use that. Don't worry, another time will come along where someone else will have an unfair advantage over you, and you'll be dealing with that. But look, it's not an accident that you have this thing. It's something that, although it's an unfair advantage in this situation, may have been a heavy burden in other times. And so, bring that onto the court, use it when you can. Just make sure you're using it in service of others. Every single morning, I pray and I get ready for my day. And I always ask God to allow me to be a help to my family, a help to my team, and a help to my company. And sometimes being the help to those people means, bringing my unfair advantage into that workplace, but doing so obviously with grace.
Hey there, I'm Ryan Becker, and I'm on the production team for the Inspiring IT Leaders video series. If you like this video, make sure to leave a thumbs up to help us grow, and subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this. Also, be sure to check out the Tech Whispers podcast, where we take a peek inside the playbooks of the best digital leaders so that we can help you grow your career in tech leadership. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.